All right, guys, the best game of the round is in the books. 18-14 Dragons over the Tigs in that one. And I did tip the Tigers. I think they thought they'd be able to get up, and they just can't put it together, can they? The annoying thing for me, I understand that they've got their halves out, but Wakeham has been a half for a long time now, and it gets to their last play, right, before the end of the game, before they turn it over to the. Actually, it was right at the end of right at the last play of the game, and Wakeham is sitting like 10 meters back from the play, and then realizes it's last, and then just quickly runs up and then gets the ball, but he has zero plan of what's going to happen. You literally could see the him freaking out on his face. It was just wild. Like, this team's so unorganized. At least with Dragons, you do have a couple of guns in there that can really just put things together. And Jacob Little, I class as one of those guys that looks like he's fairly controlled in what he does. And then you go to Lomax, you go to Ben Hunt, and they're able to to really shore things up and have a strike weapon with Lomax, and then Hunt be able to get them around the park. The 630 kick meters, tackled well in this one. Didn't have just had the one error himself. So yeah, a much better game from him. I was really surprised that the Dragons could turn this around. I thought that in this game, I should say, because I thought that they were done. Sloan went off. That's usually at the moment, that 20-30 minute mark is when that they fall in a bit of a heap, and it turned out it was Tigers that did that instead. So some of the good scores, obviously Lomax, if you did grab him a few weeks ago, it's been an absolute masterstroke. Well done on that one. 69 in this one, and still had 4 missed tackles, but everything else was absolutely perfect. And that try assist, this is when if for those that have watched me for a while now, I've always had Lomax as one of my favorite players to watch, and I haven't owned him for a little while now, so it's less exciting to watch. But his form in this second part of the season now, after having a bit of a struggler at the start, and obviously his goal kicking and everything, now his goal kicking's back on top, and his ability to wrestle out of that tackle, which was a good ball and all tackle, but it's just that just knowing how to get away from someone. Yeah, yes, he went the wrong way, but that was the only way he was going to get out of that tackle. But then to get around a player and flick that through for the match winning try. And the goal, it was amazing there. Junior Tupou obviously got 4 line breaks there, a couple of tries, so he had a big game after plenty of low ones for those that grabbed him straight after his big first score. Hunt there, if anyone owns still, there's still a few, I believe, out there. Stefano had a much better game, just the 2 missed tackles with big run meters, big tackle numbers, a few offloads in there as well. Amone, a good game as well, so pretty well solid across the park with limited negatives. Bateman the 52, so I believe they end up switching things around. I believe they gave Bateman the 4 missed tackles and Papali'i the 5. Let me know if you guys think the same as me, but these Tigers games, and obviously these Thursday night games as well, they seem to be all over the shop with scoring, because this one's wrong again. As to what you see on here is actually incorrect based on the updates. You actually see Jack DeBellin here at 45, up to a 51. Papali'i goes to a 50. And they gave him an extra missed tackle. I think I only saw him make 2 actual missed tackles, and they've given him 5, so that's pretty disgusting. And then he had 3 tackle breaks in one run, and then he had a Lomax missed a tackle on him in the second half, clear as day, and they haven't given it to him. So it just seems to be these Tigers games, they're just really poor on the stats, unfortunately. Because do you guys remember that game when they gave Bateman like 8 missed tackles and they brought it down to like 3? Was wild. They've had a few of them, and then it's these Thursday night games that they just never update as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with them, and it's frustrating. Papali'i, I really feel like he got about a 57, and he's ended up with a 50, which is upsetting. But obviously ahead of where he's priced at. Bateman just a tad below where he's priced at, so it's not the end of the world with these guys, but definitely wanted a few more points here. DeBellin is my vice. Got up to a 51, so fairly safe on that front with JDB. Wasn't his best game. He had lower minutes in this one at 65, but still, 65 still massive for a 13, and nothing really went his way. In this one, he had a couple of penalties, some missed tackles, and an error. So neg 10 for him. Pretty irregular on that front, and tackle numbers are down at 37. So fine across the board, but nothing special for him. Little 50 in this one, so he was solid for anyone who's still owning him. I imagine there would have been a few that got rid of him last week as that mid-range guy, or at least look to get rid of him this week, but much better score than he has been throwing up. Obviously the big tackle numbers was the big winner there. Clem was okay for anyone that grabs him. Billy Burns, there was a few, I believe, one of the guys in my private group that ended up grabbing Billy Burns there for his 45. Just at that price point, looked like he was going to be there for the rest of the year. Jack Bird's probably only going to play. If he does play, it's going to be on that right side. Dan Russell had a bit of a shocker, so Billy, I think, will keep that spot with Ben Murdoch-Vasila out. I think he deserves it. He's he works hard, tries his best. So yeah, that was that there. So 5 missed tackles, 2 errors for Dan Russell, 1 to forget from him. Worked hard, obviously 40 tackles, 100 meters, but yeah, not nice on that front. And then the big one here was Jerry Buller went down to a 28, which was actually no, he must have been 29 on NRL.com and down to a 28 there. But yeah, not much went well for him here. Got really close to some line breaks at some points, but nothing further from that, which is a little bit frustrating for owners. I went to loop him, so he's just going to sit in that number 5 spot. I won't be taking that. I'll be playing Max King, I believe. Or, yeah, I think it'll be King, and then Brendan Hands is the other option there as well. So, unfortunately, nothing for Buller this week, but he'll still, he won't be losing any cash, which is fine. And hopefully, again, he's still such a talented player. He'll get some attacking stats next week or the week after like he did last week there. Sloaney the 24, so yeah, just showing plenty of brilliance and then just some silly behaviour with his sin bin. Lucky it didn't cost them in the end. Jack Burgess at 23 minutes for him, so that's that on that front. And I believe we'll leave that there. So this is the first game there. We've got 2 games tonight, and I hope you guys go really, really well in those 2. And we'll see you in the review video for Friday.